My name's Ian Jacklin. I'm originally from Canada, but now I'm a proud American. Got my citizenship this year, and I live in Wisconsin, Milwaukee area. It was amazing. The next step as an actor is to be a filmmaker, I think. So I started studying how to do that. I made a couple of documentaries to teach myself how to shoot and edit. This is when the digital age started. Right before my generation, you couldn't be a filmmaker unless your dad was a millionaire or somebody was a millionaire to buy those expensive cameras. All of a sudden, she was SD, standard definition, but we could make movies. For the first time ever on planet Earth, really, poor man could make a movie. So I made a movie called I Cured Cancer, which I've just changed the name. We're going to re-release it as Cancer Healers because that name hindered it. You can't use the word cure, as I'm sure you guys know, especially in America. I made this documentary and I interviewed Alessandro and the people here for the dental because it turns out a lot of people cure themselves of cancer by fixing their teeth. It turns out the meridians in your body, the Chinese meridians from the acupuncture, if you have cancer in a certain part of your body, there's a meridian that goes back to a tooth. And 9 times out of 10, that tooth had a root canal or an amalgam filling in it. And just by fixing that, their cancers will go away. So that was a huge interview for me when I met Alessandro Porcella, the owner of this, the guy that runs this show. And we've been best friends ever since. He's like a father to me. His son's like a brother to me. And everybody here, I love this place. I come here for vacations sometimes, not even to get any work done, just because I got a few days out. I'm going to TJ, sit on the roof, get some sun, hang out. The best rooms to hang out in is waiting rooms and holistic clinics, if you're into that kind of healing, because everybody you talk to is awake. They all know, or they're learning. That's why they're there. They're not some drug, prescription, crappy place in America. They're down in Tijuana, Mexico, where you can actually practice medicine still and learn and get the latest in the holistic techniques, like the stem cell therapy that I'm doing right now. It's just blowing my mind. And I heard they were trying the stem cell stuff, and I've already seen the 2020 shows on stem cells and why America stopped the stem cells. Oh, because they take it from aborted fetuses. Well, no, they don't. It turns out they take it from the umbilical cord, which they're going to throw out half the time anyway, unless you're from that whatever tribe that cooks it in the soup and the whole village eats it later. So I think Pharma wants you to think that stem cells is bad because it works. It's amazing. And I'm glad to do this testimonial this time, because last time I didn't know what was going on. I just got the shots and I was hoping and praying because I had bone on my shoulders. As a pro fighter my whole life, I'm always lifting weights and training. So I wore out the cartilage in my shoulders, and I would just be driving and my shoulders would pop out of the sockets. So it was constantly clicking and cracking. It was horrible. I was only pressing about 80 pounds, dumbbells. Within a couple of months from this stem cell therapy here, I'm back up to 85 pounds. Just for no pain. My shoulders are not falling out of the sockets anymore. This is the happiest I've been in a long, long time. Since I got a hip replacement. I was in major pain, and I wish I knew about the stem cells then, because I wouldn't have needed this stupid hip replacement. I shouldn't say stupid, because it did take me out of pain, but I can't kick the way I used to, and that was my forte as a fighter. I was an amazing kicker. I could do the splits on the chairs. I've got a replaced hip. No pain, so thank you for that, but I'm not the 100% athlete I once was because of that. I could have just came here, got stem cells injected into my hip, would regrow the cartilage, and I'd be fine. But it's okay, living there, at least I found out before my shoulders got ruined. I'm so glad I didn't get my shoulders replaced. I just came down here, gave me some stem cells. It's been 6 months, I'm already better. They had me come down and do another one just to, beef it up a bit. But I highly recommend anybody that was an athlete or just has problems with their shoulders, their knees, or their hips, do not get surgery, just go and get the stem cells. You have to come down to Mexico to get it because they only like prescriptions and surgeries. radiation, things that aren't good for you. I mean, because I'm not a big fan of needles in the first place, I was a little nervous. But then when I got them, it was nothing. You don't even feel nowhere near what it feels. And they're great here at Biodental. You feel that first prick when they put your Novocaine in or whatever it is they use. But this is even less. I didn't even feel it. Now, the pain does come about a little bit later. It feels like you had a good workout the day before. It's like some sort of acid. Feel like you got whatever that acid buildup is after a good workout. But in a few days, it goes away. And there's something else that happens about this. If I was rich, if I was a rich man, I would, and you could do this more often, I would do this more often because there's something that happens. It's stem cells, so I'm assuming it's a rebirth. It's like the fountain of youth. All of a sudden, I got these baby cells going through my body, rebuilding everything because it doesn't just stay in your shoulders or the area. I'll be driving along, and all of a sudden, I'll feel this overwhelming feeling of euphoria, like as if somebody just took 10 years off my life. It's unreal. And I drive Uber sometimes as a supplemental income, and to meet my tribe, I like to talk to people about everything going on. Sometimes I film it from my Phil AV stuff. And I remember one day I went off because I had one of those overwhelming flushes of ecstasy, and I felt like, I partied a bit in my younger years, and I felt like somebody gave me an ecstasy pill because I was like, man, why do I feel so good? And then I remembered that saying that's a side effect of this. Sometimes you get this overwhelming euphoria feeling, and so that in itself is amazing. Like I said, if I could afford it, I would probably do this on a regular basis. But whatever it takes just to rebuild your shoulders is more than enough, and I'm forever grateful for this technique and this place. My biggest worry, and I didn't think about it until after I got the shots last time. And I went home and one of my friends said, wait a minute, what'd you get? And I said, stem cell therapy. He goes, they took gunk from some other human being and put it in you? How do you know they didn't get a vaccine? How do you know they don't have HIV? How do you know I'm not a crack whore? That you got this from? I'm like, well, I didn't ask any of that because I just trust Alessandro. But I called the next day and I found out, well, they screen heavily the donors of the, so they don't accept people that have been vaccinated, thank God, and they don't accept crackheads or so it was screened well. The stem cells I'm getting, plus there's something they told me too, that they're not taking the plasma or the blood or anything, another person's body fluid. They're extracting cells, just the cells, which can't have any sort of contamination anyway, I guess. So that was my only worry. And because I did feel a little ill, like the following day. And it could have been because I didn't ice myself properly. I had to cross the border right away. So I was out of their care and in my own, which is never as good. And so I don't think I iced enough. I was in a lot of pain. So I took some painkillers. And I felt pretty rough the first night or two, but then by the third, I was totally fine. So, and it was all worth it. It's like I said, it was more like a heavy workout. Like I worked out too hard the day before. And, but then within 3 days, I was totally gone. And then the healing just begins. And within a month or 2, 3, it's amazing not to have your limbs fall out of their joints. But getting old can be really tough, but this man, I got my youth back. People are telling me that too. I just visited friends that saw me 6 months ago, saw me now, and they didn't even recognize me because I got a spring to my step now. I'm in shape. I'm excited. I'm happy. No pain. There's something about a life without pain. I gotta tell you, it's really nice. And I did do my own rehab too. I'm obviously a personal trainer, and I teach people martial arts and kickboxing and strength training, like TRX. I love TRX. So I have a routine to rebuild your shoulders. I also took the supplements that rebuild cartilage. I don't want to say it now because I'll probably remember it incorrectly, but everybody knows it. There's a supplement that rebuilds cartilage. I took that as well, and I did certain, training exercises to build up everything as well. So I didn't just take the shots and quit. I went right back to my regimen. They say take 3 days off the gym, which I did. Then you get back into the gym. And nowadays the gyms are so amazing. You can tell them, just go to them and say you need some shoulder rehab. That'll help your process. And I was already into the holistic health, and by finding American Biodental, Alessandro and the family here, it just gave me an outlet, a place to go. I can get here from LA in 2 hours, and I cross the border and I'm able to get the kind of medical treatment that I deserve as a human being. I don't want that draconian stuff, the drugs. I want holistic. And hence the name of this place, which I named, by the way. Alessandro and I were up for us one day. He goes, what do you think I should call this place? It's called holistic care. It's American holistic care. I think it's down to holistic care now or something. Anyway, that's the way to go. So it just gave me an outlet, a place to come to get good holistic care in Tijuana.